In today's vlog I will tell you a few words, I will not get too technical, about the aircon that we have on board. Of course we have an aircon, otherwise life on board will be very difficult. So if you are interested, please stay tuned. Hello everyone, welcome to another vlog about the seaman life. If you are here for the first time, let me introduce myself. I work as an electrical officer in the commercial fleet. That means product tankers, chemical tankers, container ships, bulk carriers, those type of vessels. As an electrical officer, I have to take care of the aircon, the air condition that we have on board the vessel. This is the subject of today's vlog. I will show you during the vlog the images from our aircon, and I will give you a description, a general description. I will not get in too much details because I want this vlog to be accessible to everybody. So this is the aircon that we have on board this vessel. This is a bulk carrier built in 2011. It has 50,000 deadweight and it was built in South Korea. So this is the aircon machine. At the bottom there I will sometimes recharge Freon depending on the quantity, which I check every morning. On the left side, the big motor that you will see soon, that is the motor for the compressor. And the compressor is next to the motor. That is the aircon machine. There is another part of this, which is the fan, and I will show you further in the vlog. But for now, let me tell you that as an electrician, I have to take care of the aircon machine. I have to be sure that it's in good working condition. The vessel is made of iron plates. Iron does not have thermal properties. If outside the vessel is cold, then inside the vessel will be cold as well. And the other way around. If outside the vessel is hot, then inside the vessel will be hot as well. That is why it is very important to have a good working aircon on board the vessel. The crew needs to rest. We have long hours of work and we need to rest because, like we say on board, every day is Monday. And saying that, we need to have a good night's sleep. Even if it's a few hours, we need to take a good rest because we are only 23 people on board and we have to take care of each other. There is nobody here to assist us. We don't even have a doctor in the commercial fleet. If you did not know that, now you find out. Maybe you are a cadet and you will be coming on board anytime soon, so you can expect that. The doctor is only in the passenger vessels. So we have to take care of our health and we have to take care of the aircon machine. This is the air filters, which I replace every Saturday. I make it a habit to replace them every week because I want the crew to breathe in their cabins fresh, clean air. I don't want them to have any dirty air in their cabin. And as an electrician, I have to check every morning that the aircon machine is working properly. I check the transmission belt on the fan and also on the compressor side. Then I check if the freon level in the compressor is enough. Also, I make it a habit during my Saturday routine of safety checks, which I do while I'm on board for 4 or 5 months. I make it a habit to check the aircon machine as well. The aircon machine on board the vessel is used also for heating the vessel. And this is the fan This is on the upper deck, it is not in the engine room, and those are the belts that I'm telling you about. I have to check those that they are stretched properly, so the fan is blowing very strong in the cabins, and once in a while I need to stop the fan and check the conditions of the belt. Before I go home, if there are no spare belts on board, I make it a habit of ordering new spare belts on board, so the next guy after me will have spares in case he will need them. And this is the room of the aircon in the upper deck of the vessel. As you can see, it is a very spacious room, and it is only for the aircon machine and for the spares necessary for the aircon machine. So like I was saying, I make it a habit of checking the aircon every morning. I take the parameters in a logbook, and I did not finish my thought earlier. The aircon machine on board the vessel is used also for heating. So whenever we need to heat, if we are going in a area which has cold weather, like Scandinavian countries, then we will stop the compressor, we will use only the fan, and we will blow heat through the aircon piping from the steam. The second engineer will usually do that. I know also how to do it, but I let the second engineer in charge of that duty. I don't want to make any mistakes, and that is how we are heating the cabins. But most of the time the ship, of course it depends on the area of trade of the vessel, but most of the time the aircon is used for cooling. And we are here again in the aircon room. This is the electrical panel of the fan of the aircon. The fan works non-stop. We only stop the compressor once in a while if we are in the cool area, but most of the time the fan is working non-stop. So of course the bearing of the fan needs extra attention. I check it every morning. When I take the parameters of the compressor, I check for abnormal noises, I check the transmission belt. Over here I check the temperatures to see that everything is in good working condition. Those flaps, sometimes because of the vibrations they can move, and you can find out that one flaps is closed and maybe the B deck is not receiving any aircon. So that is why it is important to check the condition of the aircon every day. I make it a habit of checking it seriously, not only writing on the logbook. I actually go there and I check with my own eyes that everything is working properly. Most aircons are using Freon of type R407. That is most of the aircons, even on board this vessel. And the same type of type of Freon we use on the reefers and on the aircon. So if it happens like it happened on board this vessel, to have only one spare bottle of Freon, you should keep that bottle for the reefer room. The provisions are more important than the aircon. But I spoke with the chief engineer to order another bottle, and if you have never been on board, I will tell you now, whenever you are ordering something, some spares for the vessel, it is not coming in a few days, just like when you are ordering something home for your house. The spares on board take weeks, sometimes months. That is why you need to be prepared. These are the air filters, spare air filters. I usually keep them ready for the next Saturday when I replace them. If I don't have a lot of spare filters, then I wash the old ones and I put them again. But every week I make sure to replace the air filters. So like I was saying, you have to take care of the spares that you have for the aircon machine, and especially the Freon. And If you only have one bottle of spare Freon on board, keep it for the reefer. That is one tip for you. If you are coming on board for the first time, maybe you are an electrical cadet or an engine cadet, and you will interact with the aircon machine. Maybe you will assist the engineers with this job. And it is very, very important to have a good working machine, a good aircon machine, especially if you are going in hot places like India, south of India. It is very difficult if you don't have a working aircon on board. And this is the main panel of the compressor, which is located in the engine room. This is the electrical panel. So far we did not have any issues here. I have a spare box in my electrical workshop with spare contactors and spare timers and fuses, but so far I did not have any electrical troubleshooting to do on this panel, and those spares will remain for the next guy. That is the reefer on the left side that you have seen earlier, but I will do a separate vlog about that one in the near future. And whenever we have problems with the aircon, we try to ask the chief engineer for any opinion, and there is not only one guy who has to handle everything here. We are a team and we try to help each other. So this is an overall look of the aircon machine. Also, sometimes, like I had on this vessel, let me give you another tip. We were getting an alarm for the motor, for the big motor that you are seeing in this video, for the compressor, this big motor on the left side, and it was giving overload, and that was happening because we did not have enough Freon in the compressor. But like I said earlier, we only had one bottle of spare Freon, and to bypass, let's say to bypass this alarm for the fan overload alarm, we just disconnect one of the stages of the loading of the compressor. This type of compressor has 3 stages of load. It has 30%, 60% and 100%. So if you are getting overload, you can disconnect the coil on the compressor and you can use it at 60% capacity. Believe me that even at 60% capacity, you will still have a good room temperature in the cabins in the vessel. 60% is still enough to have a cool temperature in the cabins. And that is only a temporary solution until you can order another bottle of Freon and you do the proper maintenance. Also, whenever you are doing the maintenance on the compressor, double check, triple check that you are putting the correct type of Freon and the correct type of lubricating oil, because you can damage the compressor if you are putting the wrong type. And be very, very careful whenever you are doing maintenance on the aircon. Like I said, it depends where the ship is trading, but most of the time it will be in a hot area, and without an aircon on board, the crew will have a very difficult life. And that's about it about the aircon that we have on board this vessel. I hope the video was useful for you and you have learned something. If you are coming on board as a cadet in engine, this will be important for you. If you are a cadet on the deck side, you will not interact with this, but I hope it was just enough for your curiosity. If you have nothing to do with this line of work, I hope it was just useful enough for you to learn new things, how we are handling ourselves on board the vessel. If you have additional questions, I wait for you in the comment section down below. Please like the clip if you like it. Maybe you want to subscribe to the channel. I will post every 2 weeks one video in English about something on board the vessel, about the seaman life. Sometimes it's technical like this, sometimes I go ashore with the crew, sometimes we have a party on board, I will show you that. Whatever we are doing on board the vessel, I will share it with you guys. As always, thank you very much for your attention, and I hope to see you next time on my channel. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.